ouch. Can already see that the light's gonna be all over the place in this video, so just... Hello! Because I'm filming a bookshelf tour, I've decided to do a separate video for our collection of graphic novels. This is combined of mine and Logan's. It's not massive, it's not extremely small though either. We don't collect this, but we do like it. We have accumulated a few over the years. This is not gonna be a review of those books. I'll just simply show it to you. Maybe I'll say a few things if I have anything to say about them, and I might forget some if they're lying around the house, but hopefully not, so let's start. So first we have Watchmen by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons. I watched the movie, I have not read this yet. Logan has, and it's one of his favorites, so I'm not really sure why I haven't yet. Yeah, no, that's it. I just don't know why, but I will soon, hopefully. Next we have the series of Why the Last Man. So we have number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4 is by Brian Vaughan. And if you're new to my channel, you might not know this, but I am sort of obsessed with this man. He could not have done anything wrong, or so I thought previous to reading Paper Girls. He's still definitely one of my favorite creators and writers for graphic novels. Then, right, this thing is hands down the most hilarious comics in existence. Like, I'm sorry, but they just are. People might not necessarily know about this. It's basically written, well, when we discovered it, it was written by, was it 8 or 12-year-old, and illustrated by his brother, who's an actual illustrator. And the art style is lovely, and the story is just... I don't know how to describe this and to give it justice, but it's written by a kid, and you can clearly feel that it's, you know, kid's logic. If X-Cop kills a creature and has his blood on him, then he's gonna inherit the creature's abilities or powers, and I don't know how to explain this, but they did have a website, and I will try my best to find that website and link it to you, and you can see their comics there, and it's just... I'm telling you, it's hilarious. It's so nonsensical, it blows your mind. So then we have still my favorite series, and I've mentioned this so many times in a lot of videos. It's Saga by Brian Vaughan, and it's illustrated by such a talented woman. It's Fiona Staples, is it? Is it not? Yes, it is. Fiona Staples. Look at it. It's beautiful. So we have Saga 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. As I previously said, this is sort of like a Space Romeo and Juliet, but cooler. Then we have 2 prequel graphic novels to a Game of Thrones series. You don't have to get both, those are 2 separate stories. It was really quite interesting. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, I'm sure you're not gonna say no to any extra Game of Thrones-y things, so I didn't say no either. You probably know the series Fable if you like any graphic novels, because they're fairly popular. But this is a female line, which is Fairest, and both of them are just taking fairy tales and adapting them to modern time and making them quite gruesome, and there's definitely swear words and nudity involved and all sort of things that would not be in the original fairy tales. It's an extremely interesting perspective, and I think that's why it did so well. Also, the writing is hilarious, and artwork is also really nice. So I think this was the first one that they released, and it's Fairest in All the Land. This is a retelling of Cinderella. This is called Wide Awake. It's a retelling for Sleeping Beauty. The Hidden Kingdom, which is for Rapunzel, and this was my favorite of all of these, by the way. This is just outstanding. The Return of the Maharaja, I don't know how to pronounce that. This is, I think, was the most meh one. Of Men and Mice, which is again a Cinderella one. And then the Red Hood was The Glamour of Glamour. No, The Glamour for Glamour. Yeah. And that's the Fairest series. You know how you have your auto-buy authors and stuff? This and Saga are the series for me that just auto-buy. Whenever a new one is released, I auto-buy. There's no way I'm not gonna buy it, so this. Then we have Day Tripper, which I've gotten when I attended a Comic-Con in Glasgow, although I think I was sold by the cover. If it's not okay at any other times, I think for graphic novels that's okay. Then we have Paper Girls by Brian Vaughan. Next we have another purchase that was basically based on the cover because it's freaking beautiful. That's volume 1 in the Delirium of Hope. It's called Low. Then we have one single random Simpsons graphic novel because I don't know, this was another one that we picked up at the Comic-Con and just I have no explanation to this one. Then of course we have our baby, Deadpool. This was a 3rd volume in the complete collection by Daniel Way. I absolutely adored this volume. It was so hilarious and the artwork is just on point. And I loved everything about this. This is so heavy, by the way, because it has those proper slidey pages. We want more of those, but they're like 25 pounds each, so it's very expensive. So we're waiting for like some sales or something. Such good fun. Then we have Mara. This is by Brian Wood. I got this in my local Forbidden Planet. There used to be this show on TV called Galactic Football or something like that, and I was obsessed with it. I can't film like that. Sorry, I got absolutely blinded. It's not okay. Anyway, I hope you can still see properly. So Mara really reminded me of that for some reason. It's just because it has something to do with sport, but I think it's like volleyball. I started it, it was really crap and I didn't finish it, but maybe I think I was just maybe not in the mood so I'm gonna definitely come back, but I'm still very excited about this one. Then we have something that's absolutely just so cringe-worthy, but you know what, whatever. And it's Charmed Comics. I was and am a Charmed trash. I love the show, I love how shit it was. It was just amazing. I lived by Charm. I loved it from the very young age and till now. I still rewatch it every like 3 or 4 years, and I think I'm like closing the date that I'm due to do that again. One thing that annoyed me though, like sometimes they alternate between the illustrators in different stories, which is cool but also not, because sometimes I will really enjoy the illustrator and then other stories are gonna be like, this artwork annoys me. Then we have actual comics. I think those are very rare that we have actual comics, but those came as a bundle in another Comic-Con. It was a small one in the Dunfermline. We met the creator, and the creator is from Dundee, and that just sort of got me to like get this because I used to live in Dundee for 4 years. So it's called Death Sentence and it's by Montenero Simmons. Then we have Kill Shakespeare, and I really need to read this soon because I assume that this is gonna be awesome. Hack Slash! With a very appropriate cover. Now, I might not have read a lot of comic books for X-Men, but they used to be a cartoon and I would just watch it constantly, and the movies were my favorite superhero movies. So I have one Astonishing X-Men, and I don't know, I really wanted to read the X-Men series, but the problem is that there's so many of the freaking like lines of the story and different creators and different everything, and I'm just like, I'm one of those people, this is why I couldn't get into Doctor Who, because I'm one of those people that needs to start from like a proper beginning to catch up to where we are now. But there's no such thing with X-Men, because where the hell do you start? One of the newest purchases was Sculptor, and we're gonna be reading with Emilia from Coffee Chatter, and we're gonna probably do this maybe next month or whenever we agree on. Then we have The Killing Joke. This is supposed to be one of the best Joker comics out there, and it's so thin. There's no reason for me not to read this. Logan absolutely swears by it. There's no reason, and I really want to read it. The only reason is that I forget. So I'm actually gonna take this out of the shelf because it gets lost there because it's so thin, and I'm gonna put this into my TBR. Another thing we picked up at the Comic-Con back in Glasgow was Skies of Fire, and it's a very steampunk sort of, it's just one of the stools that had the, you know, the independent creators when they have the stools. There's not much dialogue going on at all. It's mostly artwork, and the artwork is beautiful, but I think the lack of the actual story sort of you know, but it's extremely beautiful. This beautiful artwork. I'm really into this artwork, and I probably should give it another go, but I read maybe 10 pages of this, and we got this because it's by a Scottish guy. Both me and Logan tried reading this. We read like 10 pages, and the dialogue just so bad. I couldn't get over it. It was just so painful to read. You know when you just cringe and you just cannot handle the cringe? I'm very bad with my cringe handling skills, so maybe I'll try it again though. Now to the massive books. So this is Avatar, The Last Airbender, one of my favorite shows ever. It's hilarious, it's innocent, it's just beautiful, and it's a great story. And obviously the art is amazing. And yeah, that's that. I don't have the rest of them because they're just so expensive. Maybe one day though. Now the two other ones I can see on the shelf. I cannot get to them and I don't want to try because this is where my camera stands. But maybe I'll insert a picture. Is 2 volumes of this massive Mass Effect books. And we also have From Hell. I've gifted this to Logan, I think on our anniversary. I don't know what that says about me. And then lastly we have a few mangas, very few mangas. So first we have Orange. This is the 2nd edition. I don't know where I put the first one. I've just finished it a few days ago. Then we have a manga for my all-time favorite anime, both of them, Brotherhood and the normal one. And it's a Full Metal Alchemist, and I need to read the manga because I love the show. Last item is Death Note. I have a black edition of this and it's beautiful, and it's just so basically beautiful. And I need to read this because I had so many recommendations for this from my friends and from people online. I just need to read it. So sorry about the light. I hope you still enjoyed it. Let me know what's your favorite graphic novel, manga, comic, whatever, or character. Just let me know what your favorite things are. Let me know if you read any of the ones that I have and you also feel the same way that I do, or maybe you feel differently. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing time, and I hope you have an even more amazing day. And give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you wanna, and also you can press this little ring button if you want to be notified when I do upload every Sunday and Wednesday as a rule. However, sometimes I upload up to 6 or 7 videos a week, so yeah, those are not going to be just Wednesday and Sunday. So if you want to know, you can press this button and you will be notified. Thanks so much for watching again, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye. I can finally go ahead and do that. But I also had a problem of this happening. See a jar? See a hardcover book? Doesn't freaking fit in a jar.